Hello friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile, Escape from the Pit. We've spent the last couple episodes doing some very exciting things indeed. Reading sliths, fetching spell tomes, learning new spells, and even fixed the Crystal Cave. But after all that, we're running pretty low on food. Fortunately, I know where to get more. We're in Silvar now, after a bit more off-screen identification, selling of loot, and training. Not a whole lot to report here, but we did increase Kaylee's thieving abilities, traps and lockpicks, and just generally improved everybody's killing abilities. The sign reads, Mertis south. Don't go east. I wonder what's to the east of here. I do know that over to the west is the honeycomb. Warning, honeycomb to west, be sure you want to go. And we've already discussed briefly that this area is a pain in the butt to explore. So we will still not be doing that yet. A giant natural spring bubbles out of the ground here, feeding the large lake to the south. This is clearly a fertile area. Large, yummy-looking mushrooms grow all over, grazed upon by pallid cave cows. Large, pale fish frolic in the lake. That's rather nicer than the usual caves we've seen around here. This cave, on the other hand, looks a bit more foreboding. Partially defaced sign says the Grim Cavern. This sign has been clawed beyond readability, so there might be something nasty living around these parts. Tower of the Magi, 45 miles south. We will be going there sooner or later. The Great Cave, 30 miles south, 200 miles west. That's quite a ways off. And the castle, also 30 miles south, 400 miles west. It's going to be a little while until we see the castle here. You find a small but successful farm. Industrious cave dwellers greet you and proudly show you around, occasionally asking questions about life in other caverns. And that's the same message, and that's the same message. So let us investigate this friendly-looking town before we eat all of our food. Now entering Mertis. Maybe not that way. That looks to be the local garbage dump. And that looks to be somebody's kitchen. Mertis is sort of interesting. Unlike all the other towns and forts we've seen so far, it does not have any sort of city wall. It's basically just a local hub and trading post for the farmland community around here. Who's this guy? You find a man hiding back here. He seems terrified to see you. Well, we are very heavily armed and dangerous by this point. Bertrand, don't tell anyone I'm back here, please. Okay. I'm hiding. Hiding from what? I'm supposed to go with the caravan back to the Great Cave, but the undead are too much for me. They're horrible. The beady eyes and stuff. I'm staying here, where it's safe. Now go away. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about the undead. Though if they're that scary, perhaps I can't blame him. Oh, you look interesting. You see a noble-looking woman in long, flowing robes. She wears a wooden ankh. She nods calmly. I am Esther. Welcome to this tiny island of peace. I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be in the chapel that we've been walking around. Serving this village as best I can. I provide much more healing than I should have to. I have helped fight the undead on occasion as well. I wish I could rely on goodness more and spells less. So we can get healed here if we want to, but I don't think we need it. They appear in the Grim Cavern and come out to raise havoc. We really don't know what makes them appear. They aren't a terrible threat anymore, but once they were a horror to behold. That is rather interesting. And you also mentioned spells? I am a spellcaster of small skill. I would love to teach you, but I cannot. You would have much better luck in the Tower of the Magi to the south. She smiles sadly. My above-ground magical training was limited, I'm afraid. I was nobility, you see. She sighs sadly. I would be still, but a minor power struggle landed me here. Ah, that's too bad. All right, well, thank you for the information anyway. And what does generic guard have to say? You see a huge woman in heavily used armor. Anne. Guarding the town. What did you think? Fair enough, Anne. Fair enough. Did not mean to leave town. Freshly painted sign reads, Church of the All-Knowing Goodness. Sounds like a pleasant enough place. And yes, here is Esther again. Fairly new sign reads, Adventurers needed. Apply at the castle. We'll get there eventually. Shopkeeper, what are you doing outside? You see a tall, wrinkled old man carrying around a sheaf of papers. He shakes your hand. I'm Elmer. How are you? I've read in the original hint book for this game that this guy Elmer was actually based on the developer's granddad. That's sort of a cute way to pay homage to your beloved family members in a game like this. I run the auction house. Yeah, the farmers around here bring up the cattle and lizards. Then they bring them here to be sold and taken north and west. Good deal all around. Apparently he doesn't actually have much to say beyond that. So, we have friendly cows. It moos contentedly. And that is all it does, because it is a cow. And we have the not-so-friendly lizards. They would eat us if they had the chance. So we are not going to try and open these locked doors. These, on the other hand... Kaylee, let's see if you can actually lockpick consistently this time. Would help if I re-equipped the lockpicks. Not enough free hands. What? Oh, bronze shield. Much better. This is a silo. It's filled with dried mushrooms, sacks of mushroom flour, edible lichen, and a host of other fungoid products. Everything is somewhat rat-nibbled. And here we have the rats. Ooh, nasty rats. Mung rats can poison us. Maybe, kinda. And now they're dead. I think I will save the inn for last. This open area is filled with giant lizards, drawing stone sleds loaded with goods. Merchants run everywhere, loading and unloading goods and trying to avoid getting chewed up by the lizards. Yeah, I admit this is one area where the more advanced game engines of the remakes do add a bit of flavor by allowing you to actually see some carts and extra lizards and townfolk. Sign by the door reads, Farmer's Market. A small blonde woman works behind the counter. She looks at you with a broad smile. I'm Terry. Interested in supplies? I sell farm supplies mostly, but I sell stuff for the merchant caravans too. You might be interested in purchasing something. I have rations and supplies. Which would you like? Well, we'll check out the supplies first. Supplies generally means things like torches, lockpicks, poisons. We don't need torches because we have light spells, we have better lockpicks, and I don't use poison, so don't need to buy any of those. Rations, on the other hand, oh yes, 2 gold for 15 food is probably the best rate in the game. I shall take lots of it. Excellent. And that's another generic guard. You see a tall, awkward, brown-haired man. He's polishing a shield. I'm Matt. I'm Tina's husband. I buy and sell armor. Lots of demand, what with the undead. You can sell some if you want, or buy stuff. Doesn't want to talk too much about his wife. To strangers, I suppose. So... armor, alright. Fine, I'll hit the buy button. Leather, bronze, not such great armor, but I did notice that Kaylee has an extra piece or two. You see a beautiful woman with long brown hair. She's quite pregnant. I'm Tina. Pleased to meet you. I run this half of the market with my husband, Matt. You can purchase armor from him and weapons from me. You can sell me your weapons, too. I recommend the bronze spears. They'll keep the zombies well away. Well, thanks for the recommendation, but I've already got a steel spear. Yeah, we've got some stone, some axe, crude bow. Flint arrows might be good if we decide to work on anybody's archery skills. A bronze tip spear is certainly the best weapon she has here. But we've got what we came for in the farmer's market. Archers are sometimes different from the generic guards. A soldier sits dourly at the table. He grunts. He says nothing. You sense he is less than pleased with your presence. I wonder if there's any other NPCs that mentioned that guy. Wizards are often interesting. A mage sits in the corner, working out equations on a sheet of vellum. I'm William, apprentice mage of the Tower of Magi. Research. I'm going to the library at Formalo to learn how to make a special sort of crystal. A piercing crystal, it's called. A long, thin blue crystal. You throw it at a magic barrier, and it dispels the field. I'm going to try to make one. A crystal, I mean, not a barrier. Well, that sounds like something really, really useful for people who haven't already learned the Dispel Barrier spell. Of course, we might occasionally want an alternative that doesn't require us to spend 5 spell points. Do you have anything else interesting? Nope. All he has to offer is that little tidbit that piercing crystals exist. Okay. You see the bartender. He's cleaning the already spotless countertop. Welcome to my humble inn. I'm Mark. I run the Mertis Arms, the finest inn in Exile. We serve merchants, travelers, and farmers alike, with the best drinks and the best rooms. Let me know if you need help. Ha! Fine meal is 3 gold, and the most luxurious room you can find is 15. You can't go wrong at the Mertis Arms. What the heck will buy a fine meal? You are brought thick, steaming slabs of lizard steak, with mugs of some sort of wine. It's delicious. Probably is a nice break from the field rations. This is the inn's kitchen. It is clean, well-appointed, rodent-free, and filled with mouth-watering things. So yeah, in case you haven't gotten the idea, Mertis is a really, really good place to get food. You see a stout, striking woman sitting at the bar. She's carrying, amazingly enough, a guitar. She looks at you as if you're nothing special. I'm Gypsy. She doesn't say anything. She simply starts playing. A truly stunning torrent of song pours forth from her guitar. Then she pats it lovingly and looks back up at you. She seems pleased you noticed. I made it. Only instrument of its kind down here. Took me a year. Would have been worth 10 years. And now I'm a minstrel. So, this lady has skills. I travel from town to town. That's not so hard, as there aren't too many of them. I'm on my way to play for Motrax now. That'll be a first. He's a dragon, lives to the north, far to the north, and he likes humans. I'm looking to see what he would give someone who showed him what human music was like. Plus, I've never played for a dragon before. I bet nobody has. It would be a first. You know, I hear a dragon lives in the honeycomb, but I prefer an audience I know is friendly. I can't blame you there. And you know, I bet Motrax would love to hear you play. Wonder if anybody's in here. Don't mind me, adventurer service. And just another perfectly generic room at one of Exile's finer inns. So that is about it for Mertis. What say we go and start investigating this grim cavern? And there's a snake over here that we will scare away as soon as we look at it. There's a large pool of stagnant water near the south wall of the cavern. You can smell it from here. Ick. You know, since this special dot here made a point to mention this patch of swamp, I'm wondering if there's something down at the south end here. And we can pretty easily take care of the poison we're collecting. You find a small patch of comfrey root. Unfortunately, the plants here are too young to be cultivated, and will be so for some years yet. Aww. Jeff Vogel, you troll. Oh, hello. You find a small patch of comfrey root, and it's the same message about them being too young to be cultivated. Still, sort of neat to find that secret passage there. I had only half remembered it. Against one wall, someone left or dropped a strongbox. Inside, you find a flask filled with some sort of fluid. Okay, we got an unidentified potion. And I'm gonna see if I can come back through this way rather than go through the swamp again. Young comfrey root. I wonder if we come back in Exile 2 if those patches will still be there. Mazy little area. And we're out. Okay. Now on to the undeads. Well, one more bit of filling in the map first. Nothing up there. And here is an ominous-looking cave. And here is a tunnel to nowhere. Enough delay, on into the creepy cave. And let's get some light going. This narrow, winding tunnel slopes sharply downward. The air is unnaturally chill, and you get a very edgy feeling just being here. Sounds like we've got a bad feeling about this. Oh no, skeletons! So, remember when I brought my first level 1 character down south to fight some undeads, and she held her own for a little while, but eventually did get killed by skeletons? Yeah, we can tear through these guys like wet tissue paper now. The swamp is actually more dangerous to us than the skeletons and zombies. Anybody else home? Aha! This dungeon has more in store for us than just simple undead. This is a poison fungus. It is a pain in the butt, because it can reach out and poison us, and takes more than one hit to die. The poison funguses. The poison fungi are also stationary, which means that we cannot lure them into a better position. And it turns out there's a few of them down this tunnel. Not so bad if they don't actually land a hit on me. Very nicely done, Kaylee. I'm not entirely sure this one's noticed me yet. Take that, you terrible toadstool. Ah, that one is a white, not a regular zombie. Need to be a little bit more careful with him. But not that much. Whites... Oh. That's annoying. So whites can drain experience if they touch you, and spirits can touch you from a long distance away with some spells. So we need to banish this guy with some cold hard steel. Or hot hot fire. Excellent. One, shall we say, feature of this dungeon is it seems to drain our light a little bit faster than one would expect. Another white. Wand of Flame. Not great loot by this point, but we can still sell it for decent money. You see a glint of light from a nearby rock pile. We got, ooh, another sapphire. Eventually, I'm going to actually buy that magic map potion and be able to use those. Not finding any secret passages. We seem to have reached the end of the line here. But can this really be all there is to the Grim Cavern or the Dark Pit? Find out next time on Let's Play Exile.